What's up, everybody? You're back with YouTube's favorite couple. That's Miss Diva Talks.
What's up, y'all?
I'm the kid JW here. And on this week, Colliders, we are talking about one of my favorite hood cartoon classics growing up.
Why you gotta be hood?
Hood classics growing up. The Boondocks. Although some people amongst us think that I never watched the Boondocks, but I did watch the Boondocks growing up. And then for some odd reason, just stopped coming on TV for some reason. But nonetheless,
Too controversial, I believe. But anyway.
The untold truths about the Boondocks from the Profile Looper right here on the Roads Collide.
Oh my gosh.
Hit it.
In 2005, Adult Swim broke up its usual schedule of absurd cartoons with the thoughtful and provocative animated adaptation of The Boondocks. If you want to know more about Aaron McGruder's animated masterpiece, here's the behind-the-scenes story of The Boondocks, the comic strip, the cartoon series, and its legacy. Before The Boondocks was a hit animated series, it was a nationally syndicated comic strip. And before that, it was an early webcomic, debuting as a...
I want to say that I knew that because I felt like I had seen Riley and Huey drawn before I saw the cartoon.
I'll be honest with you. The only reason I came to the Boondocks is there was one night where I was stumbling with my TV stuck on our channel, didn't have remote control. And I saw this. I was like, oh, let's watch this.
Regular feature in February 1996 on the since-defunct website The Hit List Online. Creator Aaron McGruder then pitched it to the Diamondback, the student newspaper of the University of Maryland, where the cartoonist was an undergraduate getting his degree in African American Studies. After a couple of months, the source had picked up The Boondocks as a strip. The comic would ultimately run in the college newspaper for just about 3 months, and it ended when a printing error left an installment out of an issue. McGruder was frustrated that he was never given a proper explanation or apology from his editors, and subsequently pulled the strip entirely from publication. In 1997, after Aaron McGruder pulled The Boondocks from his college newspaper, he submitted his strip to companies that provided comics, puzzles, and advice columns to hundreds of newspapers. The rejections piled on, with syndicates saying The Boondocks was too edgy for the comics section of the average newspaper. But Universal Press Syndicate showed some interest in The Boondocks, and the strip debuted as a national newspaper feature in April 1999. But The Boondocks ultimately didn't run for long. In a world where Peanuts ran for 50 years and Garfield for more than 40 years, McGruder gave his strip 7 years. McGruder announced in 2006 that he was taking a hiatus from The Boondocks to focus on the Adult Swim animated adaptation. By the end of the year, the break was made permanent. He said during a speech at the University of South Florida, "I got sick of the strip and sick of politics." At its peak in the mid-2000s, The Boondocks was one of the most widely distributed strips of all time. After one of the biggest debuts in syndication history, nearly 200 outlets carried the strip in its first year. The strip ran in 350 newspapers in the U.S. alone. The Boondocks was one of the most read comics ever and was also easily among the most censored. Some newspapers, like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, chose to run it not on the funny pages, but deep in the editorial section. In the post-9/11 era of American patriotism, Huey Freeman spoke out on the dangers of such extreme sentiment, pointing out how so many were distracted that they didn't notice an erosion of civil liberties in the name of national security. Major papers like Newsday, New York Daily News, and the Dallas Morning News placed the strip on its editorial page, while other publications didn't run those specific strips at all. They had a similar reaction when the strip took opposition to the war in Iraq and when it used a variation of the N-word. The vast majority of newspaper comic strips are the work of one creator cartoonist who does it all. But the Boondocks employed several artists over the years. Running off and on over the course of 2 decades, creator Aaron McGruder was always the writer. And he drew Huey, Riley, and Granddad himself from the mid-90s up until 2003, passing along primary art duties to illustrator Jennifer Sang so as to refocus his efforts. McGruder told The New Yorker, "If something had to give, it was going to be the art. I think I'm a better writer than artist." Sang stepped out after a year, and Carl Jones took over the artwork for The Boondocks and would also serve as co-executive producer on the Adult Swim show. He voiced a number of characters on the show, including recurring character Thugnificent.
Thugnificent!
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite characters.
The Boondocks began as a comic strip, but
Yo,
What's up?
P-Valley.
Mm-hmm.
If any of our subscribers watch P-Valley and watch the Boondocks, is Little Murda
Thug Jefferson?
Thugnificent? Is Little Murda the Thugnificent of P-Valley that Thugnificent is on Boondocks?
Why don't we ask the TikTokers?
We're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
But Aaron McGruder had intended his idea for TV and not the funny pages. He told the Chicago Maroon, "I figured that no one would give me a show without a strip." Even with a well-known comic, Magruder struggled to get a show made. According to an interview with the AV Club, Magruder unsuccessfully attempted to sell the show for, quote, over 5 or 6 years before selling the idea to Sony Pictures
I might be thinking about Gangstalicious. I forget. But y'all know what I mean.
Television. He told the Tacoma News Tribune, "The deals basically just didn't happen for a number of reasons, but most of them revolved around, creative control issues and things like that." Fox contracted Magruder to make a pilot episode, but then they declined to order a full series, and Adult Swim jumped in and bought the show, debuting it in 2005. Part of what makes the Boondocks show so special is its cast. The main characters are two vastly different young siblings, Huey and Riley Freeman.
Love Riley.
Huey is politically informed, well-read, and hyper-intelligent.
Everyone, I have a brief announcement.
I was just going to say Huey was my favorite character.
Riley was my favorite, man.
I like Riley, but I like Huey more than I like Riley.
Huey was wanting to punch sometimes.
To make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11.
Yep.
While his little brother Riley is obsessed with rap music and hip-hop culture. And yet the two feel like they're related, in part because their voices are played by the same actor. Academy Award winner and Watchmen star Regina King voices both Freeman boys. And that's a happy accident. Initially, producers sought out different performers to play each part. King stated, "I originally was only playing Riley." But then King read Huey's lines and the showrunners couldn't find anybody who could top or take on the character. So they hired her for both roles. When the Boondocks was
Double checks.
Right.
in the works as a show at Fox, filmmaker Reginald Hudland, best known for directing House Party and Boomerang, helped Aaron McGruder develop the project. He continued as an executive producer through the first 2 seasons of the Boondocks during its Adult Swim years, though it was something Hudland only did as an obligation. McGruder told the AV Club in 2005, "We don't have a partnership anymore. He is now running BET, and I have not spoken with him in over a year." In the second season, the show took aim at a channel called Black Entertainment Television, calling it out as a harmful force to the African American community. One episode shows BET executives actively conspiring toward, quote, the destruction of black people. And at one point in the show, Huey boycotts BET and stages a hunger strike.
What's with all this hunger strike, boy? What did food ever do to you?
Can I be excused, please?
In another episode, the viciously anti-black character Uncle Ruckus gets a reality show on BET.
I just want to say this first before she loses her mind. I love that logo of BET. That was the good BET era.
When it was black.
It had 106 in Park, Rap City, The Center.
When it was black.
College Hill.
Again, when it was black.
Rap City, I said. Uncut was gone by then, though. But yeah. What was you going to say?
Uncut was the shit.
Had to hit that last
That
one.
it must be ass because it ain't your thing. All right.
I had to hit that last one real quick. Doop, go 2 channels. Doop, done.
No, just how the controversy that he did. I'm hoping that they mention the R. Kelly episode and the Tyler Perry episode, because a lot of people still think that the Tyler Perry episode is banned, but if you have HBO Max, it's there.
According to the Los Angeles Times, when executives at BET heard about the episodes, they called Turner Broadcasting and insisted they not be broadcast, threatening a lawsuit. Neither the hunger strike nor the Uncle Ruckus reality show originally aired on Adult Swim in the US, and American audiences first saw them on the Boondocks DVD set. As creator of the Boondocks, Aaron McGruder was one of the most influential black voices of 21st century pop culture, a group that included writer, actor, and TV series creator Tyler Perry. Perry is most well known for his role in the Madea movie franchise, as well as his hit TBS sitcom House of Pain. In the 2010 Boondocks episode Pause, Granddad auditions to be in a play written by character Winston Jerome, in which Jerome also dons drag to play the elderly Maduke. Along the way, Jerome propositions Granddad, and the viewers learn that the guy's whole deal is that he uses religion and drag to hide the fact that he's gay. The real Perry took offense and objected to his and McGruder's mutual bosses at Turner Broadcasting, which owns both TBS and Adult Swim. According to the Los Angeles Times, Perry was so upset that he told Turner executives that he'd take his business to another network. When McGruder turned in the script, the company forced him to change the name of the Tyler Perry-like character, and then had him bury it deep in the season, instead of its original placement as the highly publicized season premiere. Like The Simpsons and Springfield, The Boondocks creates plenty of satire using its location, a fictional suburb called Woodcrest. And also like Springfield, it's not entirely clear exactly which American state Woodcrest is located within. It's a significant source of fan speculation, and each of the major theories have their own merits. Some think Woodcrest is a suburb of Baltimore, because that's where the comic strip was set. In a March 2000 installment, Huey reveals his area code is 443, a Maryland prefix. The show's entire premise mirrors McGruder's childhood experience of moving from Chicago to Columbia, Maryland. And in the episode Pretty Boy Flizzy, there's a mention of the concert venue Woodcrest Post Pavilion, a play on Columbia's real-life Merriweather Post Pavilion. It would be tough for the Freemans to live in Chicago because they fly back to the Windy City, their former home, to attend a funeral in the episode Wingmen.
I'm going back home to Chicago.
For good?
No.
But some viewers believe the show is really set in Chicago. In an episode about the criminal trial of notable Chicago resident R. Kelly, Riley asks Granddad if he'll take him, quote, into the city to watch it. Granddad tells him to walk, and Riley protests, saying,
It's 40 miles.
While main character Huey Freeman says a lot of things on the Boondocks that could be considered controversial, the most polarizing figure in Aaron McGruder's fictional universe is Uncle Ruckus,
Hell yeah.
Before we get into all the way into Uncle Ruckus, I knew they were going to mention those other two episodes. I only feel like Tyler Perry got so offended.
Because it's true.
Because it's true.
Yeah. We are.
You're only so offended because everything in that episode was absolutely true.
Yeah.
You're not in a relationship or whatever. Because remember he posted that picture of him being 50 or whatever and not having a family, whatever. It's like, because you...
I actually like that picture, though.
I'm talking about the caption that he left.
That's why I liked it.
Anywho, he only said that because he's not living his truth. And can't. Come on now. He can't live his truth. Because he built his career off of the people who, if he came out, would no longer support him. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments.
I mean, if he came out as a member of the community,
Mm-hmm.
the alphabet community here, I think that's a more easy way to ease into coming out because he already plays drag. So it's like, yo, it's easy to come out.
No, not really.
It's like, surprise!
No.
Surprise, motherfucker!
You got to remember, he built his career off of his plays placating to Christian, black, Christian,
but we also
Baptist churches. Come on
but
now.
We still go support him. We still support R. Kelly. We still stood by Michael Jackson. We still stood by Bill Cosby.
I don't know. I think it might be a break with Tyler Perry. I think so.
All it's gonna do is
I think
we're
so.
gonna be shot.
Which is why he's not living his truth.
We'll be shot until he finds the play. Oh, he got a play. Oh hell yeah! Let's go watch the new play. Let's go watch the new Tyler Perry play. Madea. It's coming out party. Oh, it's gonna be good. Let's go watch it.
Crude, elderly man who's viciously racist against black people, despite being black himself, a reality he repeatedly denies. McGruder and the show's writers use the character as one of their most powerful satirical tools to expose and explore the notions of systemic and self-internalized racism. But an appreciation for Uncle Ruckus isn't universal among the show's large fan base because plans for a spin-off movie featuring the character failed. In January 2013, Magruder started a Kickstarter in hopes of raising $200,000 in seed money for a live-action Uncle Ruckus movie starring Gary Anthony Williams. More than 2,600 people donated.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but there is a Donkey of the Day where Charlemagne and Gary Anthony Williams, he does the voice of Uncle Ruckus, like he's responding to Charlemagne as Uncle Ruckus. Check that. Actually, I'll put the link in so y'all can check that out. It's actually really funny.
Into the project, but it fell short of its financial goal with about $130,000 raised. The movie was never made, and neither was a more general Boondocks big screen movie, which show star Regina King discussed on Sway in the Morning in 2012. Creator Aaron Magruder always kept a watchful eye over the Boondocks, both the original comic strip and the TV show that he created, executive produced, composed music for, and occasionally acted in. He also took his time. New episodes of the show could take ages to arrive, with 18 months passing between the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2, and 4 years between Seasons 3 and 4. Magruder's attention to detail and his slow and steady pace frustrated his bosses at Adult Swim. According to the Los Angeles Times, a mutually agreeable production schedule couldn't be reached, and in March 2014, just before the 4th season premiere, Adult Swim announced that Magruder had left the show, and that the upcoming batch of episodes had been made without his input. His name had even been removed from the show, right down to the disappearance of his creator credit. Magruder announced his departure on Facebook. He stated, "Huey, Riley, and Granddad were not just property to me. They are my fictional blood relatives. Nothing is more painful than to leave them behind." The Boondocks, in both of its forms, multi-paneled comic strip or animated series, has acquired a large audience over the years since Aaron Magruder stopped producing the strip in 2006, and the last original episodes of the Adult Swim show aired in 2014. But in 2020, a period marked by significant, fractured, and tumultuous political climate in need of satire and commentary, Magruder brought back the Boondocks without warning. In February 2020, a half-dozen strips appeared on the Instagram account of nationally known radio host Charlemagne the God. Magruder took aim at Donald Trump, likening the scandal-plagued president to the Boondocks' Uncle Ruckus, as well as firing shots at R. Kelly and MSNBC. And there's more good news for fans of the show. Later in 2020, there will be a reboot of the series. Upstart streamer HBO Max ordered 2 seasons worth of new episodes of the Boondocks, adding 24 to the Adult Swim package of 55, which the service also acquired and put into circulation. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite shows are coming soon.
Yeah, I think this is an old video because that actually fell through.
Yeah, that fell through. It's like, wait, that fell through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was right after
John Witherspoon had passed.
Thank you. I don't know why I blanked out. I was about to call him Pops.
Yeah, I knew what you were getting at, though.
I was about to say Pops. Like, wait, it's Friday, it's not Friday. But yeah, that fell through. But I feel like it was kind of his fault that the show, because it's like you can't take that long, especially in TV. You can't take that long to come out with episodes.
How come you can't?
Because you lose the fan base.
Not if it's good. You had, because right now you have shows. You gotta remember with COVID and everything like that, so it's taken a lot longer for shows to come back. Even Euphoria just ended their because we're in 2022, right? They're not coming back until like 2023 or 2024.
I don't know what channel Euphoria comes on.
It's HBO.
Oh, I mean, I feel like some show. Well,
that's what I'm saying. If the show is good,
when did that season just end?
It just ended.
Well, I would say at least for HBO shows, I know right now, but since they got spun off, they're going through a whole deal. The new owners is taking hardly at all their shows.
Oh.
So that's why a lot of their shows are starting. That's why a lot of their shows are, getting delayed, because the new owners is looking at it like, hey, is this worth putting more money into this and third?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're going to take that delay, if the product is good, the fans are going to come back, like you said.
True, but in his case, you're on a TV network. When you got executives that saying, yo, you got to get this shit under control. You can't be taking this 18 months before a season.
Well, that's why he needed his own place to put the Boondocks, if you ask me.
You can't, when you work for somebody, you can't be.
And that's the messed up part. It gets corporate-y, and look what happened. So
it's like a lot of shows, you start, and it's like, Yeah, it's no problem. It's no problem at all. Taking us like, all right, hey, you know what? We're gonna let you go. We'll just take over from here. You know, and we're producers to ourselves that we can constantly.
Yeah, and that's pretty messed up. You just gonna take my shit, take me off of my shit and keep it. No. See, this is why people need their own platforms. You gotta build it yourself.
But at the same time, when it's like if you say like TV shows, like some TV shows, they come back after a while, and it's like you don't have the fans that much, and so forth. Because
word of mouth. Because you still gonna have people who are going to tune in, and then if it's good, oh my gosh, did you see such and such? Did you see this episode? Did you see what happened? Then next thing you know, the fans are back. So
prime example, it was a show that got canceled on CBS.
What show was it?
I forgot, it's slipped my mind, but it's being moved to NBC now. I think it's Magnum PI. I think it's Magnum PI.
Some I don't watch.
Because CBS canceled because it was like, oh, what a fan, the numbers are low, this and the third.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they canceled it. You know, because the numbers were horrible on live watching, but always did good on, you know, delay, which is like, you know, people who watch on DVR or streaming. But CBS like, you know what, nah, it's not good enough. So, you know, they canceled it, but then NBC picked it up because one, it was co-produced by Universal, and Universal was like, well, we could just shop it to, since we produced it, we could shop it to one of our networks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I say. Like in some cases, sometimes being slow and worried about focusing on fans, it's not always necessarily the fans that make shows go. It's the one, how much money the show can bring in from advertisers. Because the more money you bring in from ads, that's what dictates how your seasons and stuff go.
Mm.
Money rules things, you know. But it's that time. For you to take us out.
All right, fellow world colliders. If you all enjoyed this reaction, go ahead and hit the like button and share with someone else so that they can like it too. Don't forget to comment and subscribe because we know y'all coming back. And of course,
come back.
of course, if you want to check out Looper's YouTube channel or even watch this YouTube video for yourself, the links, of course, will be in the description, and as always, where you can follow me and the official JW on our respective platforms. Tongue-tied. But anyway, you got anything else you want to add?
We'll catch you guys next time on Worlds Collide. Bye, y'all.
All right. Scotty, beat me up. Bye, y'all.